We live in such a crazy land. I mean, we have really we've jumped the shark. Society has jumped the shark, okay? I don't know if you saw recently, but the writer of Idiocracy has actually come out to say, I never expected my movie to become a documentary. And while I should be laughing about that, because that's the joke Aaron and I have made for years now. And so that should be really funny that we have vindicated the actual writer of Idiocracy is now saying my movie is becoming a documentary. But instead, it's just beyond sad that that's actually where we're at. But worse than that, we aren't just living in Idiocracy, we're living in a combination of dystopic films, including Orwell's 1984. And I've seen a lot of stories about that lately, about how 1984 was here, wasn't supposed to be an instruction manual. And they always mention the police state aspects and the Big Brother aspects. But if you look around, there are some other things that are going on that are just as equally frightening, if not worse. And that would be the destruction of language. That is happening right now, and people don't even realize it. And I'm not talking about that weird trendy thing that trendy people do where they say like every other word so you can't actually understand what they're saying and then end every sentence on a question. Like, I know my mom went to the store and I wanted to go, but then I didn't want to go, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to go. That's not what I'm actually talking about. I'm talking about this. The younger generations in society, all the way down into our public schools, are being taught right now that certain adjectives are not inclusive enough. They are not allowed to be used. This is the kind of thing that is going on college campuses across this country. If you say certain things, people get their feelings hurt, and that's not allowed. You're not allowed to upset anyone or hurt their feelings. Everything is a safe space on a magical place like a college campus. And you can't say husband or wife because that's not inclusive. You're going to hurt someone's feelings. And with this demonization of certain words, they've trained or brainwashed or manipulated the behavior of these generations to feel not just a sense of entitlement to get upset about stuff that doesn't actually matter at all, as if the world just revolves around them on loop, but they've trained these people to get their feelings hurt all the time and to look into things in such a twisted, strange way that they can find a reason to get offended at things that don't actually matter and aren't really offensive. There are lots of examples of this. Case in point, remember the Mizzou protest that sprang up over racial injustice because somebody somewhere thinks they saw a poop swastika? The Missouri poop swastika is the moment social justice jumped the shark. Yeah. Because they weren't even sure if it was a poop swastika. They thought it was something with poop. They weren't sure who did. I mean, this is a thing. Back when I was in my early 20s, late teens, if I saw something drawn with poop, I would have laughed. That would have actually been funny. I probably wouldn't have found it within myself to also get offended and think about the social ramifications of a symbol that someone decided to draw. I would probably be thinking more about the fact that a person took the time to draw something in poop. And that somehow just, I don't know that I could get past that to then find it within me to get also offended. But this is what's happening. Or finding a way to get upset with people who obviously had no intention to hurt someone's feelings or do something that was stereotyping, but finding a way to label something stereotyping and then make themselves the victim instantly in any situation. A total, all the time, 100% victim mindset built right in. Like the fact that a bunch of girls at some college decided to have a tequila party, and some of them were seen wearing tiny sombreros on their head. And because they were drinking tequila at the same time they were wearing a sombrero, then suddenly this becomes a stereotyping bias event and causes this whole ethnic incident backlash where they have to suddenly open up safe spaces. Or how about this? How about somebody made what was claimed to be a snow penis and it got turned in as a bias incident? So not even sexual harassment, I guess, in the snow penis. Bias. Really just looks like a snowman someone tried to make that didn't quite do the job, but somebody felt that it looked like a penis and they reported it on a college campus, and it got turned into an official bias incident. And there are actually people on here saying, in the real world, no one cares about stuff like this. It is the height of privilege and entitlement to be obsessively concerned with utterly inconsequential events such as this. The snow penis. Bias incidents, safe spaces for all. Then they said, based on this definition of a bias incident being incidents that make people feel targeted because of their social identity group membership, it is unclear if the bias incident report was generated because of the perceived white male privilege displayed by the pearly member rising up out of the ground, or because of inadequate sex representation, as no efforts had been made to create a snow vagina. This is what this new generation of young adults is being taught to get upset about. They are taught to channel all of their frustrations into non-existent non-events and be angry about that without really even thinking critically about whether or not it actually angers them, just doing it because they've been engineered to be angry about such completely stupid stuff. Because in the real world, you get your feelings hurt. That's just part of living. If you never got your feelings hurt, you could never appreciate when someone made you feel happy about yourself. You see, you would just be neutral. There would be no emotions. There are movies about that too. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie. It just came out not that long ago, but the one where they take their medication every day so they can't have emotions and everyone's been stripped of their memories and lives in like this weird hive mind eyeball island. Should go check that out. Because that's the kind of weird thing they're trying to get everyone into, this emotionless hive mind where everyone, you can have feelings about stuff, but not about anything important that actually matters. And critical thought is dead. So while everybody is talking about how, wow, it's crazy the writer of Idiocracy said that his movie's a documentary, it's official, I want you guys all to realize that so is 1984. Because they're destroying the language and they're neutering these young adults mentally, so that they will never fight back on anything that actually matters. They will never protest and stand up for something they weren't paid to stand up for or told they should feel that way without thinking about it critically for themselves. And I just want you guys to remember that part in the book where he says, it's a beautiful thing, the destruction of words. Every time you see another news story where they're actually doing it.